everyone, you're welcome back to my channel, The Nice Nurse Cares with Nurse Esther. Today we'll be talking about the legal and ethical aspects of nursing. So without wasting much time, let's ride on. The nurse hears a client crying for help and hurries down the hallway and met the client lying on the floor. She quickly does her assessment and assisted the client back to bed. And then she informed the doctor and completes an incident report. So what should she write in the incident report? Option 1, the client fell out of bed. Option 2, the client climbed over the side rails. Option 3, the client was found lying on the floor. And then option 4, the client became restless and tried to get out of bed. The answer is option 3. The patient or the client was found lying on the floor. In an incident report, you report the factual incident, what you actually observed as a nurse. That is what you should report. So the correct option is option 3. The next question. A client was rushed to the emergency department after a road traffic accident, and this client has sustained serious injuries, both head injury that has left the client unconscious, and now this client is unknown because he could not say his name and where he is from. So the client wants to be taken for surgery, an emergency surgery. What is the best action? Number 1, obtain a court order for the surgical operation. Option 2, ask the emergency surgical team to sign informed consent. Option 3, transport the victim to the operating theater right away. Option 4, call the police to identify the client before taking the client surgery. The correct option is option 3 because option 1 and all the other options will delay surgery. Since it is an emergency and the client is unconscious, it is important to take the client quickly for surgery to save his life. The next question. The nurse has just assisted the client back to bed after a fall, and the healthcare provider has assessed the client and determined that there was no injury. After completing the incident report, what is the next step that the nurse should take? 1, reassess the client. 2, conduct a staff meeting to describe the fall. 3, document in the nurse's notes that the incident report was completed. And 4, contact the nursing supervisor to update her about the fall. The answer is 1, reassess the client. The client needs constant assessment so that if there is any injury, it could be easily detected. After a client's fall, the nurse should frequently assess the client so that any deviation from normal could be quickly detected. Because after a fall, the nurse should frequently assess a client because complications do not occur immediately after a fall. It will occur later on. So you need to frequently assess so that when that comes, you are able to detect it. This is another question. The nurse resumed for work and she has been told to float to the ICU because there are not enough staff in the ICU, and the nurse has never worked in the ICU. So what should the nurse do? 1, refuse to float to the ICU because she has not worked there. 2, clarify with the team leader to make a safe ICU client assignment. 3, ask the supervisor to review the hospital policy on floating and submit a written protest to nursing administration, and then call the hospital lawyer. The answer is 2, clarify with the team leader to make a safe ICU client assignment. A nurse that is floating should be assigned to a client that she is familiar with, that she can care for, not the most serious case, because ICU cases are complicated cases. The next question. The nurse who works in the night shift enters the medication room and finds a co-worker with a tourniquet wrapped around her arm, and she's about to inject herself with a transparent liquid in a syringe. What is the next action that the nurse should take? 1, call the security. 2, call the police. 3, call the nursing supervisor. The answer is call the supervisor. So it is required that to report an impaired colleague. An impaired person or colleague is a colleague that uses drugs. So this incident needs to be reported to the supervisor. That is the answer. Let us go to the next question. A hospitalized client tells the nurse that an instructional directive is being prepared by a lawyer, and the document will be brought to the hospital for witness to sign. And the client asks the nurse to assist her to get a witness to sign the document. What is the most appropriate response that the nurse should tell the client? 1. I will sign as a witness for you. You will need to find a witness on your own. That is the second option. Then 3. Whoever is available will sign as your witness. The fourth option, I will call the nursing supervisor to seek assistance regarding your request. So what is the answer? The answer is obviously option 4. I will tell the nursing supervisor to seek assistance regarding your request. So the nurse does not have the right to sign as a witness for the client. Any other person apart from the nurse can sign as a witness. So the next question. The nurse has made an error regarding a narrative documentation of an assessment finding in a client, and the nurse obtained the client's record to correct the error. So the nurse should take which actions to correct the error? We have more than one options in this question. So the first option is document a late entry in the client's record. The next 2 is draw a line through the error, initialing and dating it. Then the third option, try to erase the error so that you have space to write the correct option. Then the fourth option, use a whiteout to clean the error and then write the correct documentation. The fifth option, write a concise statement explaining why the error was made. Then the last option, the sixth one, document the correct information, write your initials at the end and the date. So the correct option is option 2 and option 6. Option 2 is draw a line across the error, initial and date it. That is the right way to correct mistakes in a legal document. Then the other option, option 6, is document the correct information and then initial and date. So remember that documentation is a legal tender. You have to be cautious. Don't use whiteouts on a legal document. If you are enjoying my video, please give me a thumbs up. And I'm open to your suggestions. And then if you have any comments or questions, put it down in the comment section. Thank you. And now let's go to the last question for today. A nursing instructor delivers a lecture to nursing students regarding the issue of client rights, and asks the nurse to identify the situation in which the client's privacy was invaded. So I want to list the options that constitute the client's invasion of privacy. Perform a procedure without the client's consent. 2. Threatening to give the client the medication. 3. Telling the client that he or she cannot leave the hospital. Then 4. Observing care provided to the client without the client's permission constitutes invasion of privacy. All the other are not invasion of privacy. Threatening the client is an assault. So invasion of privacy is observing the client's care without the client's permission. Thank you very much for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Thank you.